The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
A day after the New York Jets made not one, but two trades to bolster a huge weakness on their defense, multiple reports say they might not be done making moves. We'll talk about the latest and, of course, get into the latest from Jets camp. Matt O'Leary joins me. I'm in Vegas. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, AG's first training camp with the New York Jets is underway.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in Las Vegas. Contest weekend for Circa is underway today. So check out the show this afternoon as I'll be live from the Radio Row setup. You'll see Jeff Parles on the show and a bunch of awesome guests over the next couple of days. With that said, let's talk all things New York Jets. And in his weekly spot, we say hello to Matt O'Leary. Matt, how about the Jets making not one but two trades yesterday? The day started with a report that they're calling about wide receivers. Muji staying busy in late August. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Yeah, loved the content that we got yesterday. A couple of trades come through, and early in the morning you had the rumor from Diana Rossini, and I love it. I think this is exactly what the Jets should be looking to do with the state of their roster right now. They need help at interior defensive line, which they did yesterday. And I'm sure we'll get into the wide receiver rumors as well, a position of need.
Reports are out there that the Jets are still certainly into wide receivers. They're eyeing another move there. We'll get into that, as you mentioned. But let's just start with the two deals yesterday. Your thoughts on what they gave up, how it came together, and what it means for the Jets defense going forward.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be huge for this defense on the interior line, right? Because they brought in someone like Derek Nottie to help with the run stopping ability in the offseason. And, it's going to sound harsh, but honestly, he hasn't really shown anything at all in either OTA's minicamp or now into training camp in the preseason. So I think this was them realizing, like, man, we are just not good enough at that level. And it's a couple pick swap trades. They didn't give up a ton to get guys who, one in Phillips is at least a reliable starter, has been a starter for a long time in this league. And Briggs is a young player, 7th round pick from a year ago, but showed a lot of upside. And it was just a matter of, in Cleveland, they had a ton on their interior defensive line. So there just wasn't going to be any playing time. So I'm going to give, a lot of credit to Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn for, finding a couple guys who could be immediate upgrades on teams where they're kind of full and would have been fighting for practice squad spots, at least for Briggs, probably.
I think in the case of Phillips, getting a guy who's that accomplished, who's durable, who's a good leader, and only having to give away essentially 2 6th-round picks, I don't know how anyone could dislike that move. And then you find out that the Jets aren't even taking on his full salary. Minnesota is paying almost $4 million of it. I mean, that to me is just great GMing by Darren Muji. Shout out to him because these are really the first 2 trades of significance that he's made as the GM of the team. So I think he's gone out there and, to your point, recognized a real deficiency on this team. And maybe they waited a long time to do it because we were talking about this in March that this was a need. But getting it done now before the year, certainly making this team a lot better up front. So I'm thrilled. I really think the Phillips trade was an outstanding job by Darren Muji.
Yeah, without a doubt. And like that kind of answers who's going to play next to Quinnen Williams, because I think for a while we expected it to be Byron Cowart, and he's been hurt for a few weeks now. I don't know the status of his health going into the start of the regular season, and maybe the Jets didn't feel confident that he would be back. And Phillips is a clear upgrade even over Cowart and what he would have given the Jets this year. But at least this kind of takes a question mark, or what was a question mark on this Jets roster, and gives it a legitimate answer. And I said it, but a really durable guy. He's 29 years old, been in the league for a while, played in the AFC East early in his career with the Buffalo Bills. This was a no-brainer decision. And, we were talking about it at the start. I hope there's more, because I think the Jets could use help at wide receiver too.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Make sure that you click the like button. We're talking with Matt O'Leary. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel if you haven't done so already. Matt, in terms of the wide receiver situation, that's kind of how yesterday started, with the initial report from The Athletic that the Jets are making calls on the wide receiver position around the league. Is there a specific wide receiver that you have in mind that you think could be a fit for the Jets that's actually available?
I think Alec Pierce is the name that makes the most sense. And, the question on his availability is maybe one where he might not actually be available, but the Colts have used a relatively high draft pick on a receiver a year ago. They have a number one receiver in Pittman. And something about Pierce that really excites me is the amount of production he has versus the targets. Like, he's a deep threat. And I know Arian Smith is expected to fill that role. And, I like Smith. I think he's had a really strong start to camp. But the Jets kind of relying on a rookie in that role, a day 3 rookie too, on top of that, it's tough. I don't know if he's going to be ready to be essentially a wide receiver 2 for this team. And I think it'd be a big upgrade at the position. He's young, he's cheap going into the last year of his contract. And he's someone who, that wouldn't be a move just for this year. That's someone who I think you'd be looking to extend and pair with Garrett Wilson as a 1-2 punch for the next few years.
Now, Matt, hold on one second. I'm having issues hearing you. I think the chat can still hear you, but I need to just reset my computer. I was having some tech issues before the show. So the chat is chatting here. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to show the comments on stage so you could respond to a couple comments here in the 30 seconds I've got as of resetting the browser here. So the comments are rolling. Matt is going to host the show for 30 seconds because I got to just reset my StreamYard server here. So hopefully I can hear Matt, because the chat can hear him, which is great, but I can't. So Matt, 1 second. You're now the host of the Jake Asman Show. Congratulations. You've been.
Look at this. I've got the promotion here, rocking on the Jake Asman Show. Things you love to see. So let's start with this top comment from Yo Holmes. Actually, it might be easier, honestly, if I just open up Jake's live stream on YouTube and I can see the chat a little bit better. But this is, I think, exciting for the Jets, because they, at least to me, what this shows is the Jets realize that there was a problem and are willing to address that problem. They're not doubling down on it. And unfortunately, with the previous regime, I do think that was an issue where you saw them go into a year and it's like, they're a little weak at this spot. And they're like, nope, this is our roster. This is who we have. And we're going to make the most of it. And yeah, like, you can make an argument that, hey, isn't this something they probably should have done in the draft or in free agency? Yeah, it is. But at the same time, too, I think that you deserve some credit for noticing that, it's not good enough, and that they are, going to look to adjust off of that point. Because, again, going into a season with just Derek Nottie, who looks done, unfortunately, and being like, oh, that was the guy we signed, that's it, clearly would have not been ideal at that point.
I think I'm back, Matt. Do you hear me?
You heard me. I just did a little monologue. I didn't even get to the comments yet, so you didn't miss much at all.
All right. Well, I can hear you now, which is great. And I'll tell you what, we got a couple super chats for you right here. Bino with our first one of the day says, Jacob, I love adding a couple fatties to pair next to Quinnen. Stuff in the run is a top priority. That was the glaring concern with this team. Like, I think there's some concern about the safeties, but I don't think that's as big of a concern when you have the corners the Jets have as what we're looking at up front. I mean, next to Quinnen Williams, you have a bunch of guys that are certainly unproven. And now you added a legit run stuffer who's been one of the best at doing that in the league the last couple of years in Phillips, a guy in Briggs with upside. And then you feel like, okay, You have Jermaine coming back. You have Will McDonald. All of a sudden, everyone kind of feels like they're slotted properly in that D-line room to go with the fact that you trust his coaching staff with Steve Wilkes and Aaron Glenn to get the most out of what they do have. I feel like the defense took a massive step forward yesterday. I really do.
It did, and I'm sure that the linebackers who are fast and love running around, and Quincy Williams and Jamie and Sherwood are going to be really happy with this move with both Phillips and Briggs, because that's going to eat up some reps on the interior. And you might not see the pretty stats from a Harrison Phillips. Like, I don't expect him to come in and be like, "Oh, I'll give you 5 sacks from the interior," but he's going to eat up blocks and then allow guys like Quincy and like Jamie and Sherwood to come down to line of scrimmage and make plays on the ball.
Super chat here. It was from Black Gypsy, but I'm unable to pull it up here because it was so far before the show, so I missed it. But Black Gypsy essentially wrote before the show started the following super chat here. I heard we picked up the DN from Minnesota. If true, hopefully we fill our roster need soon. Hope you're enjoying Vegas. Well, Black Gypsy, even though I can't pull up your chat, I can add you to today's daily raffle in honor of me being in Vegas. How about a little dealer's choice themed as Maniac raffle at the end of the show? You choose the jersey you want to win. If you win, Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, or Jermaine Johnson. Those are the jerseys. So gift the membership or send in a $10 super chat or higher to qualify. Black Gypsy, you were the first one to be a part of it. We got a super chat here from the #1 Austrian Jet fan, Matt. Top 5 wide receiver 2 trade targets.
Ooh, I don't even know if I could really give you 5. I don't know if there's 5 who are realistic. Pierce is at the top of the list. Romeo Doubs potentially from the Packers. I just think they have so many guys at that wide receiver room, and someone's got to shake free. Juwan Jennings possibly from the 49ers. I think would be another good one. Beyond that, like, I don't think they're going to be in on a Terry McLaurin. I don't think they're going to be in on a Chris Olave, a bigger name guy who's already kind of cashed in on a contract. I don't think is going to be the move. Maybe Jacoby Myers, depending on what the cost is. But, those are some names who I think would fit well as wide receiver 2s.
With you with all that, Alec Pierce is the guy like I would love more than anyone. I just feel like why would Indianapolis trade him? That's my big thing. Like, no one has actually said, I think, that he's available. It's all speculation.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like, we're just trying to read the tea leaves a little bit and pick at rosters and go, oh, that guy would make a lot of sense. But at the same time, you got to figure out, like, I don't know, do the Raiders want to trade their essential #1 receiver in Jacoby Myers? Probably not.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we had a 20 spot, but we have one from Frank P. Frank P., you are in the Asmaniac raffle for 20. Hell yeah. The way I know how to celebrate is to play the brand new hit song, Richie Stickers.
Gator, I'm scared to see what this is.
I'm Richie Stickers. Kiddies love my stickers. Jets Media subscribers all want my stickers. Here's my kick-ass sticker. Now leave me the hell alone, bitches.
I'm becoming the sticker guy. Oh my god. We got a banger sent over from Gator. I am strapped up with stickers, and if anybody comes up to me, you get a sticker. I didn't know it was becoming a thing, though.
I'm Richie Stickers.
Does anybody watching this have a sticker that I gave them in person?
Oh, yeah, I knew you'd like that, Matt. Richie has promised everyone, by the way, if you sign up for the Gangrene Legends cruise with me, Matt, Green Bean, Ryan, that, guess what? You'll get a Jets Media sticker. Matt, have you ever received a Jets Media sticker while I'm on the topic here?
No, I haven't. I have a Jake Asman sticker that I have on my laptop, but I don't have a Jets Media sticker. Although the beginning of that video was reminiscent to last week at Jets training camp with the kids climbing over me to get stickers from our guy, Richie.
That's right. We had the big J Quest versus Richie as Maniac Rumble on the show 2 days ago as well. So a lot of talk about stickers in the Asmaniac community. A lot of talk about the Jet Cruise, baby, the Gangrene Legends Cruise. Join me and Matt on this awesome Gangrene Legends Cruise. Make sure you sign up before week 1. That's September 7th, and you'll save $500. I know Matt and I are pumped. We can't wait to be a part of this thing. We got Kevin Mawai, Chris Ivory, Marty Lyons, Sean Ellis, Jericho Cotry, Leon Washington, Bilal Powell, all confirmed to be joining us on the cruise. Matt, Richie, Green Bean, Ryan, myself will be on this cruise. Fireman Ed is going to be on this cruise. So we're pumped, man. Matt, I can't wait. And of course, you want to save money? $500 off if you book before week 1. So let's go.
Yeah, that's a great deal. You got to get in before the start of the regular season. So if you're on the fence thinking about it, if that doesn't push you over, I don't know what will. Maybe the sticker from Richie, I guess.
The sticker will be the deciding factor in getting people to sign up for said cruise. Love that. Thanks again to you, Frank. Appreciate it. He goes, enjoy Vegas. I definitely will, Frank. I definitely will. Black Gypsy, another entry in our dealer's choice jersey raffle at the end of the show. He's in for 1. And then how about our pal, the #1 Austrian Jet fan, gifting 5 channel membership. As far as the game tomorrow, Matt, we know the starters are not going to play. This is the first time I've had you on since Glenn made that announcement earlier in the week. Do you agree with that decision? What are your thoughts on how we got here with none of the, quote, starters, according to AG, playing in this game tomorrow?
Yeah, I get where he's coming from on it. Honestly, it's pretty normal to see that last preseason game as just, the depth guys fighting for the final 53. But for me, I think with how the Giants game ended for the first team offense, I think I would have liked to see them get a drive or two in this game, just because I think Fields left a little bit to be desired, as in the passing attack. And I get it. We're analyzing 3 drives, and I don't think we could really draw any conclusions whether Fields is or isn't going to be the guy or a good passer this year based off of just those 3 things. But just from a confidence building perspective, I think I would have just given them an extra rep or 2 going out there with the first team offense.
Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Mike Perez. I'm excited for the fatties and commend the front office for this move, but that also means we all were right. We should have drafted a DT. Well, that's fair, Mike. The one thing I'll say that feels different to what the previous front office would do, they'd be so stubborn they never would make the move. At least this front office recognized a deficiency and did something about it. We knew there was a deficiency at backup quarterback the entire 2023 season. The Jets punted on doing anything there, and we all hammered them for it. So, well, I think we all agree they should have drafted a DT in this year's draft class. Coming away with Harrison Phillips, however you got him, it's still before the year. There's still 2 weeks till the season. You feel good that they addressed a real need and put him next to Quentin Williams. You made your team a lot better. So I'm going to choose to be positive for the sake of being positive here rather than being like, oh, see, we were right. They should have drafted a DT.
Yeah, that was kind of exactly what I was saying in the monologue where you were gone. I was saying that at least, yes, you can make the case that, this is something that probably should have been taken care of in the draft or in free agency before we got to this point. But it would have been 10 times worse if they just doubled down on the roster and been, well, we signed Derek Nottie and we got to figure it out with him. I think they were able to realize that they clearly didn't have enough at that positional group and went out and got a bona fide starter and then a young player who has 3 years left of team control that seems to be ascending.
Your thoughts on the state of this roster, Matt? There's obviously, cut down day on Tuesday. Jets have their last preseason game, as everyone knows, tomorrow night against the Eagles. The 53-man roster, which players do you think are firmly on that bubble? Could go either way. Like, what are the most difficult decisions you think Glenn and Muji and company are deciding on?
Yeah, well, now on the interior defensive line, I'm interested to see if someone like Leonard Taylor makes the team or is a practice squad guy. And, Peyton Page, someone like that is someone they talked a lot about this training camp. And with the extra additions, I don't know if he has as much of a chance to make the team as he once did. And at the wide receiver room, I'm not going to even bring up Malachi Corley as having a chance to make it, but other guys like Brandon Smith or, Pritchett or Skinner, guys like that, I think they've had really strong summers and have made plays in the preseason. So at least in this game coming up against Philadelphia, we'll have kind of one more chance to look at those guys and see who of the group is going to actually be able to do enough to make this team.
It's so sad about Malachi Corley. We knew for months that his roster spot was in danger. I feel like we knew, after a week of training camp, he was not making this team. He really has done nothing all summer.
Yeah, he really hasn't. It's tough to move on from someone who was a 3rd-round pick a year ago. But again, I think it's just the unfortunate reality. He just hasn't shown enough, and they have no ties to him, this regime. They didn't draft him. They didn't trade up for him. They didn't say he was their number 4 wide receiver on their draft board. So it's not really up to them to hold on to a guy who probably doesn't deserve it, honestly, at this point.
John with a great comment. Harrison Phillips is better than any defensive tackle draft pick we could have picked in rounds 4 through 7. I completely agree. I mean, Harrison Phillips is a legit good football player. I'm not trying to tell you he's Aaron Donald. I'm not trying to tell you he's another Quinnen Williams. This guy's been a starter in the league for the last several years. He had a sack against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in the London game I was at a year ago, too. Oh, by the way, the guy was a part of a Vikings defense that was second against the run in the league last year. Veteran, captain, guy's really solid. I think it's exactly what they needed. So, once again, anyone trying to find a negative in this trade, you're just trying to be negative for the sake of being negative. You didn't give up a lot, and Minnesota's covering half his salary anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a big key, too. They're covering half the salary, and he's still a good player. He's a starting caliber defensive tackle, which they definitely did not have. This was a deep defensive tackle class, and you're right. Like, you're probably hoping that whoever you would have taken would be as good as Harrison Phillips. It's really more about the cost control and having control for 4 years on the rookie deal. But that's kind of what you're getting with this other trade as well, because, this was a 7th round pick a year ago, played well down the stretch, had a strong preseason, likely wasn't going to either make the team or have a big role in Cleveland. And now the Jets are banking on his upside as a cost-controlled player over the next 3 years.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you want in on our dealer's choice, that's right, I'm in Vegas, so we'll do a Vegas-style raffle. Dealer's choice, Jets jersey raffle. Gift memberships to enter. If you win, you have a chance to choose between Jermaine, Sauce, Garrett, or Fields for the jersey and color of your choice, between green or white. Julian wants a chance at winning the prize. He is in for 5. He's playing to win, baby.
Hello? You play to win the game.
We're playing to win a Jets jersey. He's in for 5 entries. Dixon with a comment here. I'm happy that we got Armand Membu. We haven't heard Tyler Warren's name once. I will say, I think Dixon's on to something. I really have not heard anything about Tyler Warren at all this summer. I've heard way more about the other tight ends in the draft class than I've heard Tyler Warren, which I find to be fascinating. Maybe because the situation with the Colts is kind of messy with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, but I feel like we've heard nothing about Tyler Warren.
Yeah, it's true. That's a name that you haven't really heard all that much about, and I think you're on it. It was really the storylines at a Colts camp was who's going to be the quarterback, and they finally decide on Daniel Jones. Heard a lot of Loveland, heard a lot of Mason Taylor, obviously, but yeah, I mean, going back to the draft, I was a big fan of Tyler Warren, but completely understood the direction that the Jets went with Armand Membu and then taking Taylor in the 2nd round. Completing the offensive line, I think was a smart decision, especially when you factor in how much the Jets are going to run the ball this year.
I think Membu, if he could just go out there and be average in year 1, you could live with that. But I think he has a chance to even be better than that based on what we've heard and what we've even seen. I mean, I think Armand Membu so far is passing all the tests you'd want to see from the 7th pick in the draft.
Yeah, I thought he looked really, really good against Green Bay. There were some struggles against the Giants, but that's probably the best front the Jets will face all year with the number of guys that Giants defensive line has. So I'm not worried about him at all. I think he's going to be, a really good player for this Jets team.
Bino with a super chat. He cuts the line. Thanks for supporting the show, Bino. The Corley situation is worse when they could have grabbed Jermaine Barton or Jalen McMillan in the 24 draft. I mean, they traded 2 draft picks to move up for him too, and they couldn't wait to tell everyone that they had him reportedly as the 4th receiver in the draft, that, they're sending out the text message between Saleh and Douglas, Malachi Corley, no matter what. Like, it's so disappointing. It's not surprising given the history of the Jets the last 15 years of trying to address wide receiver after round 1, but it's still very disappointing.
Yeah, it is. The Jets and that regime, they thought they were smarter than everyone in the room. And nobody, I can guarantee you, no one else had Malachi Corley in their top 4 receivers of last year's draft class. And, it's unfortunate. They gave up, extra capital to move up and get the guy. And, he's going to have 3 catches in his Jets career, which is just, unfortunately the way it goes sometimes with this team.
The Jake Asman Show is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Matt, I'm going to ask you to make a preseason wager. Jets, Eagles, tomorrow night, if you're crazy enough to get in on the fun, a.k.a. bet on preseason football. The Jets at FanDuel are a 2-point favorite. Would you take the Jets and their backups against the Eagles and their backups tomorrow night at Jet Life.
Yeah, F it. Why not, right? Run it. Jets -2. They'll win this game. Why not? I'm in on the Jets in this one. Let's watch it and have some skin in the game. I like it.
Love it. Love it. Matt O'Leary, crazy enough to wager on a little preseason football. Nothing like it. All right, hit the like button if you guys haven't. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. We'll do a couple calls as well with Matt O'Leary before we say goodbye to him. So if you want in, join the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline, and we will pull you up on the screen. And ladies and gentlemen, first up today is none other than our dear friend who always gives takes. But here's the question with this guy. Where is he giving the takes from? Inside or outside?
What's up, gents? How are you?
Clifton.
Hey, what's up?
Doing well. Listen, I'm totally comfortable with yesterday's trades. We didn't give up anything to get those guys. I think that Harrison Phillips, one of the chatters, was absolutely correct. We would have never gotten a guy of that quality in rounds 4 through 7. The question is, would we have been able to get a guy like Briggs with like a 6.5 round pick? I think they wanted to see what they had first before they went out, and they kept their powder dry with the cap and the draft picks. But now we have to start worrying about, are we going to need to go up and get our guy in next year's draft, right? You have to look at, if we do reasonably well and miss out on the playoffs, and we're picking in the, high teens or maybe 12 or 13 range, like, do we need to go up a couple of picks and get Lenore Sellers, for example, because he fits what Engstrand wants to do? Like, I think we started yesterday with a first round pick, a second rounder. We had no third. We had a fourth, a fifth. We had 4 6th round picks, and no 7s. But I think we're projected to get maybe a 4th and 2 7s. So we still have a little bit of wriggle room. But, like Jake was saying, I don't know what the asking price for a guy like Alec Pierce would be, right? Like, what are you going to give up to just get him for 1 year? Even though I do think he would probably slot in as a WR2 for us, right?
I would try and extend. Like, if they made that move, Kyle, because I agree with you, it probably would cost more than, like, I think maybe even some realize. You have to extend them to justify making that move. Otherwise, it's like, why are you trading significant capital for a rental? And, like, significant capital could be maybe like a third that could turn into a 2, or it's just a straight up second round, like whatever it is. I don't think it's a first, of course, but you can't trade for the guy and then he's a free agent and you lose him. You'd have to make that commitment to extending him.
Right. Exactly right. So that's the concern. You're starting to worry about what you would have to give up to get your quarterback next year. And I think you're probably going to be able to either improve the wide receiver or tight end room just from cut downs. Right. So let's wait and see. I think we've kind of exhausted it. We would have to be wowed in order to make another trade to add to our offensive skill positions, in my humble opinion. I appreciate your time, guys.
Kyle, as usual, great call from the great outdoors. I think he's right. And that's why I don't want to say they can't add a legit wide receiver too, but I think if they trade for a wide receiver, Matt, it's probably closer to the Briggs deal equivalent wise than it is the Harrison Phillips trade. Because Harrison Phillips would be like the equivalent to me of adding like a real wide receiver too.
Yeah, and that's the issue with it, right? Because you don't want to get into a spot where you're potentially costing yourself an opportunity to move up in the draft. And if it is a second or third round pick, that's probably too much, right? For the Jets to afford right now. And they might just have to go into the year and go, we're going to use Garrett Wilson a ton, the running backs a ton, the tight ends a lot, and try to just get by with Josh Reynolds for a year, and then look to either draft someone, sign someone, make a trade next offseason.
More calls here before we say goodbye to Matt. Doug on the desk is joining us. Hello, Doug.
Desk chair, not desk. I don't know.
You're not sitting on a desk right now.
I don't even own a desk. I just have a desk chair for some reason. But hey,
Really? You have no. So what do you do your work on, Doug?
my laptop. I just like chill on my bed sometimes, or like go to work, or go to the office. Just yeah, take it easy. Crazy thought. Speaking of FanDuel, am I crazy for thinking Jets money line week 1 or no?
If you think they're gonna win, I mean,
I think we're gonna beat the Steelers week 1.
Then take the bet. You have the odds are in your favor. +3, right? The Jets are 3-point underdogs.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit to see how much the line moves, but I am likely going to take Jets money line week 1 against the Steelers.
If they lose, we blame you.
That's so fair, and I accept that blame. Are you guys coming around on how much August sucks?
No,
I'm having a great time.
I'm having an awful August.
I'm in Vegas right now. I'm living the dream, Doug. I mean, come on now.
Well,
money. Whoa.
Fair enough, but I also I have to call in more into the season so I can get a little like video intro. But
yeah, you got to be a regular, Doug. And also, I mean, the competition for Asmaniac Madness this year, it's going to be unlike anything we've ever experienced. It's going to be very, very fierce.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an intense one this year. I don't. It's going to be bloodbath.
It is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like the trades. I don't think they'll give up the draft capital for a wide receiver we'd want, but I think they're going to look on the waiver wire hard to see like what maybe younger guys get cut, like who've shown promise. And I just don't know because like with the Packers looking for like other teams looking for receivers like the Vikings and all that stuff, I really don't know what they're going to be able to get because I think some teams are going to be willing to give up more for a receiver.
Yeah, it's a good call out. I agree with you. I think there will be teams who are willing to give more, and then it might cause the Jets to bargain shop or just be on the outside looking in.
So yeah, and I don't want Romeo Doubs. He has like too much. He's too much of a diva, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because like he complained a lot like about like the targets and all that stuff, and you just I don't know. That seems like the solid type, not more the Aaron Glenn type to get into the locker room.
Something I haven't considered. That's a fair point, I think, on Romeo Doubs. Plus, he had some drop issues, I believe, this most recent year, so maybe not the best guy to bring in.
No, I would agree with that.
Doug, maybe one day you'll get a desk.
Maybe. That, who knows?
Ladies and gentlemen, Doug on the desk. Let's see. Dylan says it's a false report put up by Green Bay about Dobbs. The concussions scare me the most. Yeah, I mean, that's a legit concern too, DT, to your point.
Yeah, concussion, and that's like people bring up Chris Olave a lot too, and that's another guy who's suffered multiple concussions since coming into the NFL. And, with those guys, you always run the risk. It just takes one more, and that could be it for them. And, I don't know if the Jets have that luxury of taking a gamble on that.
So I'm going to gift a membership shortly. If you want one, here's what you need to do. You need to click the like button. You need to subscribe to the channel. And if you get a membership from me, I'm entering you in our raffle at the end of the stream for a Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Sauce, or a JJ jersey of your choosing. And remember, folks, these are the weekly prizes coming up. Joe Namath signed jersey, Kevin Mawai signed jersey, Klecko Lions Sack Exchange signed photo. So be on the lookout for the upcoming Asmaniac weekly raffle if you don't win a daily raffle prize. In the meantime, give people a chance to like the video, give people a chance to subscribe to the channel, and turn on the setting that they want to receive a gifted membership. Let's now get back to your calls and check in with a man who calls himself the Beast.
Everyone keep quiet, we got a bingo! Yeah! Woohoo! Yeehaw, cowboy! Put it in the bank, baby. Another win, another day, another dollar, another time, another hour. Nobody gives a shit.
26.
Hey, Beast, can you put some lights on? What's happening here?
I've been up since 6. I've been on my feet since 6 a.m. this morning, running roughshod, running hot. Blaze, blaze, blaze. Burn, baby, burn, baby, burn, burn, burn.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I've been working. I've been doing things, getting things out of my way.
You said you're retired though, so you're contradicting yourself.
No, I'm actually getting things done, like getting weeds out of my way, making business calls, taking care of out of state.
Are you
stuff.
retired or not? Because it sounds like you're unemployed.
You know what? If you're gonna piss me off today, you know what? Hey, in the words of Bobby Heenan, take a.
We'll see you later, Beast. Man, once
I
again,
what was
Beast
happening?
on the line. He claims he's retired, but then he's talking about getting all this work done. I don't know, Jason. Sounds like you have a permanent spot on Mount Unemployment to me.
I just want to know what was happening at the beginning of that call. What did we witness there at the start?
Is a blessing.
We witnessed a blessing, Matt. That's what we witnessed.
Fair enough.
Man. Beast, call back when you calm down. Let's see. Barbarossa says it's snowing in Beast Attic. Ted says, what kind of business? Sham says, on his feet, currently sitting.
All great points here.
Tom Ace, Beast snapping necks and cashing checks in 6 a.m.
Out here doing the grind.
JT says, retired and working. That's the life. JT, I love clicking on the show, and I get it just in time for a Beast call. Nick Shine, Matt's face is priceless. Man. Call it out. Shout out to you. You are in the Asmaniac raffle for one. All right, Matt. I'll get you out of here with a couple quick hitters. Your thoughts on the game tomorrow from the standpoint of which player desperately needs to show out to make this team? Like one guy that if they have a good game, you think they lock in their spot on the 53?
I'm going to go with Pritchett at wide receiver. I think, he has looked pretty good returning punts. Not that they've been crazy explosive, but he kind of just gets upfield and gets like 7 yards a pop. And sometimes, like, if you're going to catch the ball and be reliable, in that way, and you're not going to fumble, that is good in and of itself. And there's just so many guys at the back end of that wide receiver room. Like before I mentioned, Brandon Smith and, Skinner had a good game this past week, an unbelievable touchdown catch. I think if Pritchett has a good game, I think he has a good chance to begin with because of the special teams role that he plays. But that would be the guy that I'm circling to see if he gives you something offensively.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe what my eyes are showing me here, but this was just sent to me by a listener.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Have we been being lied to the entire time? Is Beast actually a Buffalo Bills fan?
This breaks my heart. I can't believe we have seen this out. Josh Allen lover in the Bills blue and the Allen jersey. This is sad to see.
This can't be real, is it? Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in with the man himself.
Get the hell out of here with that. Bills fan? Really? Really? Get out of here with that shit.
Is this you?
Nobody. Are you fucking high or something?
Whoa.
Get off your high horse for 5 minutes and pay attention. I've been a Jet 27 years. Whoever said this is a full of shit on a pedestal full of shit, syphilis, and nonsense.
So
Wake
this is
up
not
and
you.
Dumb shit. Unreal. Unbelievable.
That's
wow.
not you.
Damn right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you confirmed that on the record because people are saying it is.
Yeah, right. People are retarded these days.
Whoa.
With their eyes glued backwards, and they probably wear their underwear backwards.
Whoa. Calm down.
And you wonder why I'm a hothead. I was trying to say, I'm trying to say those two trades. Would you let me finish? Come on, bitch. I'm trying to say 2 trades we got yesterday were gold. Solid gold. Now, we're not done yet. We're not finished. We're going to get more. I don't like breaking things, but sometimes I think I have to pull Clint Eastwood and say, let me finish. I like those 2 trades we got. We got plenty more to go get. We got one more week before. Enough snuff. We're going to get more. Give it time. We got plenty more to go. There's more surprises.
Bim boom me, bim boom boom ba, bim boom ba, bim boom ba, bim boom me, bim boom ba.
You think I'm playing games with you today? I don't think so. I think. You think this is a game? Huh? Go get some.
Look at me.
Beast, I'm getting hacked by 6 rings again. Hang in there.
No, that was
Man.
that was tough.
Mike writes in, this breaks my heart, Beast. Yeah, look, Beast claims this is not him. So for those saying Beast is a Bills fan, shame on you. Beast would never wear a Josh Allen jersey. Never.
Yeah, thank God. I was nervous for a minute there.
Yeah, I'm on Beast's side on this one, folks. I really am. Man, all right. Last chance for your question to be answered by Matt. If you have one, super chat it in. Matt O'Leary joining us in his weekly spot here on the program. Reminder, we are available in audio form, Apple or Spotify. Leave a 5-star review, and I'll read the best ones on the air later this week. So check it out if you haven't done so already. Matt, your thoughts on Aaron Glenn coming out and pushing back on the narrative that it's a passing league. What did you make of the back and forth between Glenn and the media as Glenn is continuing to go toe-to-toe with lines of questions he doesn't agree with?
I love that he had where the Eagles ranked in passing right off the top of his head. That was, I think, the most impressive part of it. And I think he's right to an extent. Like, clearly, this team, there's many ways to win in this league. The team that just won is a team that plays good defense and runs the ball. Now, I think they have some more weapons in a passing attack than the Jets do. I also think they have a better quarterback, but he's going to go to bat for his guys, and the Jets very obviously have a plan, and they're going to stick to it.
I think you're spot on with that one. Larry wants to know, did Matt ever give his report from the baby shower?
No. Okay. So it was great. 10 out of 10. I won a prize in the raffle. I won a tabletop like fire pit thing. So
Nice.
I might need to go to more baby showers if this is what we're getting out of these things. We're coming home with prizes.
I think that is outstanding. By the way, speaking of prizes, Matt and I will both be appearing at the Badlands Jets kickoff party coming up on Saturday. As Maniacs, if you want to join us, buy a ticket, use code Asman. Let me know when you do, and I'll put you down in the raffle for 10 as a little extra incentive to join me. Matt's going to be there. I'm emceeing the event, so it should be a lot of fun in New York on Saturday. We were both at the one in April. Ton of great Jet fans that were there, so I'm looking forward to it. I know, Matt, you are as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun time. A ton of, one, they do great work, and it's going to be great content-wise, but so many Jets fans coming out. Some media coming out, too. I know some of the beat is going to be there as well, so just a fun gathering of Jets fans before the start of the regular season here.
Okay, Beast has responded to those saying that this photo of him in a Bills jersey is him. Ladies and gentlemen, Beast writes in, I hate.
Oh, no. Did we lose Jake? I think we lost him. I mean, is it just me riding solo again here? Unless maybe I'm frozen. No, Jake is definitely frozen. I see it on the YouTube end. Listen, I'm not a big AI guy, but at the same time, how am I to believe that this is actually artificial intelligence? Beastbreaker, I know you came on here and said that this isn't you in the Buffalo Bills jersey, but can we get some physical evidence? Like, can you go through your closet and prove that there's no Bills jerseys in there, that you have some Jet stuff? That might be the only way that we can know definitively if this is or isn't the Beastbreaker in this picture.
I'm back, Matt. I
Oh, no. Look at this. I think he froze it.
Connect. Testing, testing.
I hear.
Am I on?
I think so. I think we got you now.
Are we back? Testing.
Yeah.
Am I back?
You're back.
Oh my God. We had major connection issues there. I think Six Rings was hacking me again. So that's what's happening, Beast, with the photo of you in the Bills jersey, all of it. Man, Six Rings doing it again. But Matt, thank you for your time as always. Appreciate the flexibility today when I'm out in Vegas, and I will see you on Saturday. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Enjoy your time in Vegas, and I'll catch you on Saturday, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt O'Leary in his weekly spot on the show. Can you guys hear me okay? Please let me know in the chat if you can. Obviously, I'm having some connection issues, which is unfortunate, but I think we should be good. And when I actually broadcast the show this afternoon from the Radio Row setup, I'll be on hardline internet, which should work a lot better. But on that note, open phone lines, keep the show rolling. If you guys call in and want to have a discussion on what the Jets did yesterday with the two trades, if you missed the start of the show, I don't know how you can complain about either move. Glaring weakness, they turned, I think, to at least a competent level and didn't give up a whole lot to do it. Like, it's just smart, shrewd GMing by Darren Muji, which is exactly what you want. All right. On that note, let's get to some of your calls. Gus Buster Umbrella Hotline is where we head, and Jason in Jerusalem is first up this segment. What's up, Jason?
Hey, just got back from Long Island.
Do you miss the great state of New York already?
Yeah, you can take the New Yorker out of New York, but you can't take the New York out of the New Yorker.
Love it.
I actually didn't like the move so much because when I first saw the move, I thought they got Harrison Smith. So when I saw that they got Harrison Phillips, I was a bit disappointed. But other than that, it was a great move. So I misread the headline.
I'll tell you what, they both would help the Jets, but only one was available.
Yeah. You're talking about wide receiver twos that are available. It seems to be that very much a lot of buyers who are looking, like the Vikings are desperate for a wide receiver two, and I think that they're willing to give up more to get one. As Kyle Clifton so eloquently said, that you need to hold on to capital for next year.
Right.
In case Fields isn't the guy, which is a shame because you need the wide receiver two in order to help Fields show you whether he's the guy or not. That was one of the issues with Darnold, is that Darnold had no line and no wide receivers. How were we supposed to evaluate him?
I agree. Now, there's an argument that some will make, how often are they really going to throw it? Does it make sense to have a wide receiver too? I push back on that because what if there's an injury to Garrett Wilson? And if you want to put Fields in the best position to break out, give him the best weapons. And if you add the right player, they could be on your team for longer than just this 1 year with Fields as a quarterback. Maybe there's a rookie next year that needs good receivers beyond just Garrett Wilson to develop and take a step. So I am still in on adding a wide receiver too. I'm not going to trade away next year's one to do it or anything crazy, but if I could get Alec Pierce, for example, I'm doing it. Like I'm willing to make that type of deal.
I am. Obviously, the cost matters, but I just see that the Vikings would be willing to pay more for Pierce than the Jets would, unless they just evaluate him differently. The only guy that comes to mind is somebody like you said, Dobbs, because I can see the Packers not wanting to send him to the Vikings and more willing to send him to the Jets with some type of a poison pill like they had with Favre. That if you trade him to an NFC team, you have to give up a 1 or something like that. I think Reddick had that in the deal as well. That if they traded him to an NFC team, Jets had to pony up.
Right. I don't think they're going to make a big splash, but to be fair, I didn't think anyone knew Harrison Phillips was available in the first place, so you never know.
Right. By the way, I'm back in New York Thanksgiving weekend, and I just looked it up. The Jets are home against the Falcons. The Isles are home for 3 games that week. And Six Flags is still running that Sunday. So I got quite a number of options as to what to do.
This sounds like your Jason in Jerusalem heaven you just described there with those options.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do all of those. I got to choose between the Jets and Six Flags. The Isles are home on Wednesday, though, before Thanksgiving.
I would say wait to see what the Jet record is before you determine what you're going to do.
Yeah, I also don't want to buy tickets before the weather. Definitely not to Six Flags. If it's a cold, rainy day, sitting in roller coasters are not going to be all that fun.
Yep, 100%.
All right, Jake. Keep up the great shows. Oh, last question. What do you think about Manfred's quote about realignment in baseball?
I think it's coming. I don't think it's coming for a couple of years till we get expansion first. I mean, what I don't like is the idea that it's basically like all the big markets in different divisions versus the smaller markets. Like I don't like if you have a division, let's say, of what's being apparently discussed, Yankees, Mets, Phillies, Red Sox, that's 4 of the top 7 biggest markets in the sport. Like I don't love that.
So-
I think, like, competitive wise, it'd be crazy how toxic like those battles would be with the rivalries. But I don't know. I don't love the idea from a competitive balance standpoint of like, here are the big markets, here are the small markets.
I agree with that. I also wondering in terms of practicality, because the Mets and the Yankees can never be home at the same time, and the Cubs and the White Sox can't because of hotel rooms for their opposing players.
They
If
can
it just
now,
doesn't
though.
make sense.
The Mets and Yankees were both home last week at the same time.
Oh, that's changed since then. I haven't paid
Yeah,
attention.
they try not to do it, but they do it. So there are ways to do it.
I mean, I just figured it'd be like Mets, Phillies, Nationals, and Pirates, and you'd have Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Orioles
Right.
as your 4 divisions to try to keep some type of a, historical reference in there, as opposed to just putting Mets, Yankees together.
Let's see if they do it, but I do think they want Mets Yankees together because of the rivalry aspect.
And you can't have it too much together. But then again, you have Isles Rangers who are in the same division. Nobody ever bats an eyelid.
Knicks and Nets are in the same division too.
Yeah, but for rivalries, both teams need to be good, and that hasn't been forever.
Right, but we're not talking about just for like when they do this. It's the long haul.
Right. And this is coming from a Nets fan, by the way, to say that.
Yeah, you, Connor, Long, and Gary are 3 regular Nets fans that call into the show. The Net Coalition. Dylan Terramin says, DT, if they agree to that type of deal with Dobbs, Muji should be fired. He's not some all-world player like Favre was. Yeah, they're not going to give up a lot for Dobbs. I agree. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Allen Storm is on the line.
Jason!
Jason? We know you're there, Jason. Jason, a.k.a. Bees Breaker. Beast, are you there? This was just sent to me by a listener. It was you apparently using...
Hold it, please.
It was you using wizard spray. Is this you?
Let's cut through all the BS. Enough's enough.
Hey, can you put your camera on so we can see you?
I have said.
Hey, put your camera on. I can't see you. There you go.
Those guys that we got yesterday was perfect. Can we get some more? That's what I like to know. Maybe, just maybe, we might be onto something good here. You might never know until you see it. Just watch. Have a good day.
Hey, Beast, couple questions for you. Where's the wizard spray?
This is a wizard spray right here. How you like that?
I like it.
Good. Now you finally not that kind. I'm talking Bird Special 38 caliber.
I like it. Give me, how about 41 caliber next time?
We'll see. We'll
Okay.
see what happens. But tomorrow, when we play the Eagles, we're gonna probably sit our starters and probably send our second and third string in. I think they'll just do fine. Once we surpass the Eagles, we'll be okay. Come the 7th, Rodgers will get smoked. He'll get smashed. And you can take that picture, shove it directly right up your ass.
Let's go back to Beast, whose camera's not on, but we know he's there. Hey, Beast.
Playtime is over. In the words of the Paulie Dangerously,
You get the fuck out. Just kidding. I'll come back to you, Beast. What do you got? You get the fuck out.
woo!
Are you still mad at me? I'm very confused.
If you want real good tacos, you gotta go with El Flour Tortilla. You can also do carne asada. Well, gracias, amigo. Este Taco Tuesday, las muchas gracias.
Muy,
Oh, este es huesos.
muy.
Oh, nobody gives a shit. Oh, the dangerous lines is. Oh, this means war. Oh, you want to play with fire? Oh, right here. Oh, piss off. Oh,
He's gone. All right. I'm sorry. Farts are funny. Beast is called back in. Hey, Beast.
I've already prepared the. Oh, I prepare. Oh, get in the cage with me, you pussies. Oh, I got more balls than half the roster that can't combine. I got the power to do it. Oh, thank you for your time. Oh, I was going to say. Oh, and remember, this is Mr. Oh,
None of that made any sense, but thank you, Beast, for whatever that was.
All right, we're back here on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Out here in Vegas, you know what I brought? My Beats custom kicks, baby. I got them right here. That's right. Shout out to our new sponsor, Beats Custom Apparel. I got my custom Jake Asman Show shoes I will be rocking here at Circuit today. They're my Air Jordan shoes. They're awesome. I got 2 pairs. I wore one of the pairs to the watch party we did at T Squared this past Saturday, and I'm rocking these out in Vegas today. Beats Custom Apparel. A bunch of Asmaniacs have already purchased their kicks, but if you want your own, beatscustoms.com. The link is in the description, of course, as it always is for all our sponsors, including our latest one, Beats Custom Apparel. I can't wait. If you missed it, these are the other shoes that I was rocking at the watch party on Saturday. They say Asmaniac on them. So we got the Asmaniac shoes and we got the Jake Asman Show shoes. Jets Custom Kicks. Love it. Shout out to Kyle and the team at Beats Customs. Support our latest sponsor. Support a local Jet fan, family-owned business. Beats Custom Kicks. Go to the website, beatscustoms.com, and use the promo code JETS1 for 10% off anything you purchase in the online store. Shout out to Beats Custom Apparel for making me look sick out here in Vegas at Circa's contest weekend. With that said, let's get back to your calls. And for those tuning in late, we are doing a dealer's choice theme giveaway at the end of the show. You pick the Jets jersey you want between Fields, Wilson, Gardner, and Jermaine to enter. Get the membership or send in a $10 super chat or higher. More of your calls, ladies and gentlemen. Next on the Gusbuster Hotline is...
I've got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
David T.
Hey, I think I'm happiest for me.
David T. The internet. It's not working. No. Try and call back, David. In the meantime, Papa Jet is ready. He's standing by, and he's next. Hey, Papa.
Jake, you got me?
I got you, Papa.
Hey, when you coming back from Vegas?
Red Eye tomorrow night, so I could be back for this event I'm emceeing for Badlands on Saturday.
Okay, so you won't have a post game then on the game tomorrow.
Oh, I'm having a post game, all right, Papa.
Are you?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Well, hey, I just can't wait for the season to start. But hey, I just wanted to show you something real quick. Yes, you do. Here. See that, Jake?
I do.
You look fine, hon.
Is that Mama Jet?
That's Mama Jet.
Hello, Mama Jet.
I have not done my hair yet, so.
You look fantastic,
the
Mama
shirt?
Jet. That's
okay,
a great
there's
shirt.
my shirt.
That's a cool shirt, ain't it?
My son
It
did
is.
that.
She's all, I didn't do my hair, didn't put my lipstick on, so I'm going to get in trouble after this call. But
I think you look tremendous.
But
Both of
but
you.
the story behind that, Jake, is my son had a T-shirt company, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. As you can tell, my beard's black on that shirt. But I told him he needed a cool logo, you know, like just do some sick Viking dude that looks just sick, you know. And he pings me 10 minutes later that, and I said, "You idiot, that's me." He goes, "I'm rolling with it." So there's Papa shirts out there. I don't know if it's better than the B shirts, but first time she wore it. So yeah, it's fine. He saw it.
Nice shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's all I got, Jake.
Papa, let me tell you. Great call. Great cameo by Mama Jet. And Jetster wants to know, are you Green Bean's brother?
No, maybe uncle. I don't know how old Green Bean is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Papa Jet. All right, open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Kyle Clifton with a super chat. He joins our raffle for 2. It is far better for Beast to be a Bills fan than to be a Dolphins fan. Cut the poor guy a break, please, Jake. I don't see why he can't stay on the show if he remains civil, unlike 6 rings. Wow. Beast is not going to like that one. Look, Beast claims that the picture of him in the Bills jersey is not him. So I take Beast at his word. Darius says, Bonesy must be jealous of your new sponsor. Ha! Well, I'll tell you what, Alden's a little different type of shoes than what Beats Custom does. It was great to see the champ, Mr. Bonesy, at the watch party on Saturday, though. All right, more of your calls right now. Let's see if we actually could clearly hear David T this time. Folks, here we go.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit. Hey, Jake.
David T.
You can hear me this time, huh?
I can.
Yeah, great, Papa Jet, beard. Great Papa Mama Jet beard T-shirt.
You're right.
But I'm happy for the godfather of the Asmaniacs, Mr. Neal. He got his two fatties. No disrespect, but I know last year he really was talking about the tackling and plugging up the holes and everything. So it's got to make him feel better. And as far as the starters not playing against the Eagles, isn't the whole idea of the last preseason game to shore up the roster and maybe see if some guys can do something going from second string to first string? Is that the whole idea of it? And I know the starters would only be in for a series or 2, but I mean that's the way I was under the impression that it was.
Well, I think it's different now with one less preseason game, so every team treats it differently. Like some teams will play maybe their starters only in the last game because then they have 2 weeks leading up to the start of the season. Some teams will treat it like, hey, we played our first couple preseason games. Guys got reps. Now we want to protect them, make sure they get fully healthy before the start of the year. So every team does it differently. I think the Jets are treating it like we got our reps in the first 2. We want to protect our players. And we're only going to play like fringe starters and the backups and go from there. So I think you might see Armand Membu play, for example, because he's a rookie, or Mason Taylor. Maybe you see AZ Thomas get out there and get some reps. But you're not going to see like Jermaine Johnson or Sauce or Quinnen or Garrett Wilson, etc.
Yeah, you know what, Jake? Now that you mention it, I didn't even give that a thought of the, going to the 3-game format as opposed to the 4. So it all makes sense.
100%. I'll tell you what, you made sense, David T, because we could hear you.
Careful what you wish for. I'm not that interesting a person.
Ladies and gentlemen, many would disagree with that statement by David T. He's one of the all-time greats. All right, let's get back to your calls coming up, plus a raffle if you want in. Dealer's choice. You choose the jersey if you win. Philly Noodles, you're next on today's program. What's up, Philly?
What's going on, bro? I'm fully decked out with the news we got. Look at this.
My man's got the shirt on, the hat. Let's go.
I'm saying, brother. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm in a Moogie kind of mood. I know everybody was questionable.
State of mind.
Moogie state of mind, baby. Yeah, I know everybody was kind of confused when he was selected, and he just has that gusto. You know what I mean? Like he made moves last year that helped them get into the playoffs, the Broncos. So same type of difference. Questionable about the quarterback. He's not a rookie, but we're questionable. And he's making moves, and we're solidifying pieces that we need. Like Neil and everybody wanted. The run stop wasn't there last year. You can stop the run. You can force in the pass. You force in the pass. Our secondary is good. So here we go. Let's make it happen. I would love to. Jake, I don't know what it is. You've been saying it for years. Just keep traveling everywhere. The news breaks when you leave New York. Just stay out of New York, bro. I don't know how far you need to travel for a wide receiver to occur, but just keep going west. I
I'll
mean,
tell you what,
there's not much further you can go.
we're really putting this to the test because tomorrow night at midnight or 11:59 when I'm on my flight from Vegas back to New York, we're really putting to the test if there could be breaking news overnight as I'm on a red. Think about it, 11:59 Pacific.
Yes.
That's 3 in the morning Eastern time. So if we have some jet news that breaks at 3 in the morning, that's when
Dude.
you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's you. It's a lucky charm. You're not even Irish. I love it. It's crazy.
People think I am, which is hilarious.
I know, man. Dude, I've been saying this. I really hope they can either pick from the Packers tree, the fruitful tree of wide receivers. If Dobbs is still upset last year, if anyone remembers, he missed like 4 games randomly for like mental health reasonings, and he didn't sit right with the team. Then they go ahead and draft Matthew Golden, who's light years better than a bunch of players out there. So, he's a starter. Jaden Reed's a starter. Someone's going to get upset. Christian Watson would be kind of like, Dontavian Wicks would be, acceptable, I guess. But I would like to see DJ Moore get set up with Justin Fields again, especially because they drafted Luther Burden. So they drafted something they didn't really need in lieu of knowing they already have Odunze and Moore. So Moore maybe
Moore's
looking
their
like
best player. He's so important to what they do. They're not going to trade him.
I don't know. Well, supposedly out of their camps, I was listening to someone yesterday. According to their camps, he's been getting less reps with certain in most packages. They've been like diluting him a little bit. So I don't know. You can shake that tree. I don't want nothing to do with Terry McLaurin. Angry and chasing a ring. That's not happening over here. So I think that would be pointless. But I mean, something's got to be had out there. Pickens would have been really nice to have grabbed if he was available this year, but we saw what the Cowboys did. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just stay in that West Coast state of mind. It works every time, dude. Love it.
I'm in a West Coast state of mind.
Yes, sir.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
By the way, cannot recommend the Billy Joel documentary on HBO enough. It took me forever to get through it because I just don't have a lot of time. And it's like a 6-hour doc. It's 2 parts, but it's 6 hours long. Kind of misleading, but it's excellent. I mean, the footage they have is unreal. So any Billy Joel fans out there like I am, and I'd imagine a lot of my audience, definitely recommend it for those of you who have not seen it yet. A Jake Asman fan in the house. Let's go, baby. Jets. Amen. Hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Hey, new merch items are available at jakeasman.com/shop. The Coach AG t-shirt and the G5 t-shirt. We also have the G5 shirt in kid sizes as well. So check it out. jakeasman.com/shop. If you're a Patreon user, 20% off when you use that code you get with your membership. This was just sent to me by a listener. Apparently, I must have missed this earlier on the show. Beast had horns on his head and was eating buffalo wings, like a real buffalo. Man. Amanda says, I want a sexist Gary t-shirt. Gary, your thoughts? Sean says, why are they all silhouettes? Because I don't know if you know how copyright infringement works, but we can't actually use their names or their faces or the actual logo. Ralphie says, how does Briga not have a membership? We're convinced Dave doesn't have the setting on because there's no way he wouldn't. But I'll continue to say it. If you're the person that gifts Dave Briga his channel membership, you can pick any item in my merch store and we send it to you. In fact, you know what? I'm going to one-up it even more. Because Dave, I think, claims that he has the memberships on, which is just odd because I don't know why it won't work. I'm going to take it a step further. If you're the listener who gifts Dave Briga his membership, I'm going to send you a Jets jersey. You tell me which one you want, and I'm going to send it to you. How's that for a deal? Big Loyal in the raffle for 2. Thank you, Big Loyal. Smart moves made by Darren Mucci. Don't think they get a wide receiver 2 till trade deadline and depending on record. Certainly possible, Big Loyal. I think if they don't add a receiver in a trade, I'd be surprised if they didn't put someone in for a claim on waivers, and they try and address it that way. That's kind of my feeling. Man. Crazy things happening, folks. Party with Peg and Artie. They're in the raffle for one. Did this membership go to Dave Brigham? The membership did not go to Dave Brigham. It went to listener Peter. So Peter, party with Peg and Artie just made you a channel member. All right, I got open phone lines for anyone who wants in the conversation. Apparently, Beast is rocking a rainbow-colored Josh Allen jersey. This was just sent to me by a listener who's with Beast. I'm not sure. Beast, if you're out there, could you let us know if this is you or not? Jetta Hog, do you think we actually see any production from the young wide receivers besides Smith? Probably not, to be honest. I mean, Arian Smith is the only one that kind of feels like he has a role. Kyle Clifton approves of the Billy Joel doc. He says it's a pretty good doc, and I'm not a huge fan. You're not a huge fan of Billy Joel, and you live in New York, Clifton? Bill Font says BJ doc was amazing. I agree. By the way, Bill, I received your Venmo, so you are in the raffle. You were yesterday for the daily, and of course, you're in for the weekly too. J-Lock writes in, Aaron Glenn is different, man. Way better than Bowles, Gay, Sala. I'm talking about miles better. I hope you're right, J-Lock, but what is that based on, right? He hasn't coached the game yet. The Human Fund is in the Asmaniac raffle. He gifted a membership, so he has a chance to win at the end of the program. Hey, now. You guys Purple Belt Mike says, first we had 6 rings. Now we have no rings. Well done. All right, I think it's time to bring back a segment we haven't done in a while. It's a segment that has been sweeping the nation. There's been a groundswell of people asking for it, and I want to get the people what they want. It's time for Ask Jake Anything.
It's time for Ask Jake Anything. Ask about New York sports. Can't afford a therapist? Maybe Jake can help. We can even discuss if the moon landing was real. Seriously, ask Jake anything.
Ask me anything. Write it in the comments. I'll bring it up on the screen. Zach Asman says, Jake, what's for lunch today? Oh, you better believe it, Zach. I'm taking you to Victory Burger at Circa. My brother's first time in Vegas. He gets picked up in a limo yesterday from the airport. We went to Stadium Swim, which is the largest outdoor sports book in the universe. We had the VIP treatment. Then, yesterday, we went to dinner at Carbone. So, needless to say, I am the best big brother. This is where we were yesterday, hanging out in the afternoon before I did the show. His first meal in Vegas was Carbone. Shout out to my buddy Chris, who's a regular viewer of the show. He was the one who got us the reservation last night. So we went with him and some friends. And this is where I will be watching the Jets tomorrow night, people. Or I guess tomorrow afternoon for me, tomorrow night for everyone else. On the East Coast. The largest indoor sports book. And these two gentlemen will be on our show this week, so stay tuned. Bill wants to know, have you been to the Spear yet? I saw Kenny Chesney there in June. That's awesome. I've seen Chesney in Houston at the Houston Rodeo a few years back. Have I been to the Spear? I've driven past the Spear and walked past it. I have not seen an event there yet. Jets Bliss says, are you playing any slots? If so, hope you hit it big. I'm not really a slots guy. I played blackjack last night. My brother had never played free bet blackjack, which I love. So we did that last night for a little bit when we got back from dinner. Ralphie wants to know, is there a Joe's Stone Crab meal in the works? I don't think so, Ralphie. I would love to go. I just don't think I have time with the other things we got planned here. Rich says, are you glad to be back in New York? Absolutely. I miss Houston, but it's been awesome. Yeti says, did your little meeting with Kyle Brandt make it on air for Good Morning Football? I guess Yeti hasn't seen the clip, huh? I'll tell you what, Yeti. Just for you, I'm going to pull it up. All right? Because I was on Good Morning Football. Me and Kyle Brandt, we rocked that thing together. But apparently, Yeti had never seen the clip. So, I guess this qualifies for, at least for Yeti, as breaking news.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Last week, I did, in fact, make my debut on Good Morning Football. And as soon as this clip loads, I'm going to play it.
I love the fact that you were loyal to the Good Morning Football brand. All these other guys, they're leaving.
Who are we talking about?
I don't want to name names, but Peter Schrager.
Now that we have that out of the way, who wins more games this year, Jets or Giants?
The Jets. Come on. Jets. And I'm a huge Kyle Brandt fan. Team Kyle Brandt, is that allowed?
Yeah, it's allowed. This is New York.
Breakfast and Kyle Brandt. Is there anything better? Come on, people.
I love this guy.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyle Brandt. Good dude. Let's see. Ralphie says, do you see any Jake Asman, Ty Butler regular show on ESPN New York Radio in the near future? No, but I do enjoy working with Ty when I've had the chance. The next show that I'm doing on ESPN New York is going to be Monday through Friday next week. Michael K is on vacation, so I am in for the K-Stir the entire week. So next week, let's get out in front of it. The shows will be at different times. Monday to Friday, I'll go live around 9 a.m. as opposed to 10. And the afternoon show won't start till probably either 4:30 or 5, assuming I do 2 a day. Which I am still planning on most days next week, still doing the usual volume of content. But I'm going to be exhausted, so bear with me. Darius Richard says, did you have your fantasy draft yet? Who are you taking? My fantasy draft is Monday. And I have the 7th pick in the draft. I don't know who I should take. I'm open for suggestions. It is a PPR league. I think it's either half point or PPR. I got to look, but it's PPR. Who should I take? 7th pick in the draft. You guys tell me. Party with Peg and Artie with a super chat. This new gig with Tanny, where can we watch it and listen to it? It will be on ESPN New York every single Sunday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Myself and Mike Tannenbaum are hosting a weekly Jets-Giants NFL preview radio show together. So it's going to be great. In fact, I actually, funny enough, I had a meeting yesterday with Mike and our producer, Tom Bauer. So I took a screenshot because I thought it was funny. So here's Mike Tannenbaum, myself, and Tom Bauer planning the show for the upcoming season. So very excited to work with Mike. Tom's an awesome producer as well. So we had our first meeting to talk about this show I'm doing with Mr. T. Sundays, ESPN New York, 8 to noon. It's going to be a lot of fun. I said to Mike, I go, if the Jets stink, I'm blaming you because you hired Glenn. So Mike and I will be working together this Sundays in the fall, 8 to 12. I'm doing the first hour solo from 8 to 9, and then Mike joins us from 9 to noon every Sunday during the season. All right, let's get back to your calls here. Paul is on the line. Hello, Paul.
How you been, brother?
Fantastic. What's going on, Paul?
Just wanted to chat. Finally got you at a good time. I tried getting on yesterday, but you got on a little late. Then Anarchy hit, so I couldn't log on. I started watching it. Then I finish up. I'll watch you again after at night. But, the one thing, I'm on my new kick, right? That I'm not going to get excited this year. I'm more chill, but I am liking the difference in general management style, coaching style. I'm definitely curious to see how this works out because it's an ongoing battle with my brother and I, and I'm looking forward to sticking it in his face because he always minimizes how important coaching is in football for some reason, and I always feel the opposite. Tom Brady is elite, but people just like to say, if Belichick didn't have Brady, but reality is they needed one another for that many years of success, in my opinion. And that's really, again, what I'm hoping for this year is, can we just have some confidence in our management team, in our, whether it's general manager, our staff, I really like what they did the last day or so. I agree with it. We don't need to get a home run hitter every time. We need to fill the void. And, the salary cap is a delicate thing. It's something that constantly needs to be addressed by a general manager, because you need to always have funds to pay new people coming in and people that we have in that deserve more money, right? And that's why the NFL is so different now because of the cap, right? You used to be able to be like the Dallas Cowboys and just pay off your offensive line top dollars and keep them forever and win championships. And that's not the case now. So, I do look forward to that. Like, I like what he did. I think he improved the team the best he could with still keeping cap space and things like that, right? You're only going to know in time, obviously, how it works out. But, how many times we always want that big, heavy hitter. We get it, and it doesn't make a difference anyway, So that part I'm pretty happy about. Wanted to know your thoughts, and I really think they're still going to address something with the wide receiver position, whether it be now or right before the trade deadline, to see where we stand. So to me, that I'm just enjoying that part of it. I really like the way they handled it. I missed some of your show, so I wanted to just recap your thoughts and see if you're hearing anything out there. But glad to hear all as well. And I will start hitting some events soon now that summer's over, my man. Appreciate you as always, dude.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you what, Paul. I do think that they're still looking to improve the team. Waivers is going to be big. I think they'll make some claims there. I could see them still acquiring a receiver in a trade. I don't know who necessarily, though. There's some obvious names we discussed previously, but I don't think anyone knew Harrison Phillips was available. So could be another surprise. I am confident that they're going to be aggressive in trying to improve the team, because I don't think you do the moves they made yesterday if you're just playing like, all right, we addressed one glaring weakness, now we're just going to stop. Like, I think they're going to try and get a receiver. I do. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in Vegas, so dealer's choice raffle at the end of the show. You pick the Jets jersey you want. Jermaine, Sauce, Wilson, or Fields, green or white. Enter by gifting a membership like Hate Me Now, a.k.a. took me a while to get this one. You Hate Me Now in the raffle for one. Thank you, You Hate Me. Eli Betts in the raffle for 5.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Oh, yeah. Gift away for your chance to win. That's the only way to do it. Robin Boy Wonder says, are you and Mike going to be in studio? Some weeks, yes. Mike does call games for ESPN Radio's national stations. So there'll be some weeks where he'll do the show remotely from whatever stadium he's at, or he'll do it from his home in South Florida, or he'll do it from Bristol if he's doing Sports Center hits. I'll be in studio almost every week. So we'll be on Zoom if we're not in studio, which is like the listener, you won't be able to tell the difference. It will sound like we're in studio. All right, more of your calls right now. Nate on the bike in New York City. Hello, Nate.
What's going on, Jake? I feel like you wait until I'm in Midtown to go to me sometimes. Can you hear me?
A little choppy. Hopefully it clears up, though. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'm in the neighborhood if you need me to water your plants or anything.
I wish I had plants.
Good call by the last guy. I'm in agreement. I like how things are going coaching wise and front office wise, even though we haven't really seen anything yet. I like the trades yesterday, right? It's like the one thing I remember about the Denver game, well, actually both Denver games the last 2 years, was that we could never run the ball. Actually, Brees had that one long run in Denver, but they've always had a really stout run defense, and obviously so did the Lions. That's the obviously Muji and Glenn don't have too many similarities in their football background or appearance, but that's the one thing I take that's similar, that both these guys want to stop the run and both these guys want to run the ball. That's what both organizations they came from did. And I like that they identified someone. I know there's people poo-pooing and saying, why are you giving up draft picks for players? You know, we're not a winning team or whatnot, but they see an issue, and Glenn's defense is predicated on stopping the run. So they clearly saw an issue, and I like both guys we get. There was, I think they were worth the price. The first song on my playlist this morning, Jake, was Osiris Worth It. You know that song? There's I will give you the world, baby girl. You don't got to be perfect. You know what I'm talking about? And then he says, but you just got to be worth it. Like, they're not perfect players. That hit me. I was like, they're not perfect, and we're not getting anyone perfect late August. But they got to be worth it. You know, if they we have a deficit in our backup defensive tackles, and we think edge too, as well as wide receiver. So if these guys are worth it, and that one guy we got from Cleveland, I saw a video of him this morning. He was bench pressing dumbbells, 180 pounds each. I don't even care if he hasn't played football. I'll give him a 6th-round draft pick. Like they had too many defensive tackles. And then on the wide receiver, there's been a lot of wide receivers. I'm with everyone who's out on Terry. Amazon. Oh my. I'm with everyone who's out on Terry. Like I don't want to pay another big wide receiver when we're going to run the ball up and down people's throats, and he's too much like Garrett and kind of on the later end of his career. But that Alec Pierce. Do you remember the Colts game last year? He was cooking sauce at times. I remember that last drive, like he was getting separation on sauce. And I look at his stats. One, he has Anthony Richardson throwing him the ball last year, which is almost as bad as Zach, right? But he had 824 yards and 7 touchdowns on only 69 targets. That's incredible. That's production. That's a guy who, like I said, from I don't know, maybe a similar offense, but we're hoping Fields can throw the ball better than Richardson. But sign me up. I'll take that type of production, especially coming from an inaccurate quarterback who's scrambling for his life every single play and really not. We all kind of know what Anthony Richardson was last year. So I'm all in. I've heard I don't know what he could go for. I think it's obviously going to be closer to like a 3rd or 4th round pick. But Alex Pierce is the one name that if Muji's in a making moves kind of mood, I'm all over Alex Pierce. Our light lady, what are you worried about? So yeah, I don't know. Those are my takes. So the Osiris song hit me. I was like, yeah, you know, these players were worth the 6s. You know, how many draft picks can anyone in the chat name 6th-round draft picks that we hit on? You know, we are not the Tom Brady organization. So I think they were worth it, and I'm hoping that we get a wideout too.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nate. And I think when you look at Pierce, the fact that he was that productive with that limited of opportunities, that's kind of exactly what the Jets need from their wide receiver 2, because wide receiver 2 is not going to get a ton of targets, we don't think, in this offense. So, but if that guy could make defenses pay for doubling Garrett, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think it was like 22 yards a catch, and I might be wrong, but I think he's another Cincinnati guy, right? So it might just be like Bearcat homecoming weekend.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I think. All right, yeah. So we get all the Saucer's boys in here. It's like it's Bearcat weekend. I'm all in on Alex Pierce. I don't see any other names that excite me more than a Josh Reynolds does, or what's his name, Tyler Johnson. You know, I'm down on them rather than giving up draft picks on any other names that I've seen. But shout out to Muji for making moves.
How's Times Square, Nate? You going to stop by the Olive Garden there?
I'll stop by Craig's Hotel. Shout out to Craig from Australia, who will be here in how long? That's his hotel that he owns and operates.
Isn't the OG right next to you on the right?
Dude, why do you know Times Square so well? I don't know. What's the Olive Garden? Yeah. No way you just called it the OG. You're a sick person. Man.
Dude, I value authentic Italian food, man. If you want to stop by,
don't ever mention Olive Garden. Stop it.
Hey, if you want an authentic slice of pizza, go to the
Spidey, can I get a Jets fan? J-E-T-S. Spike, I was going to tip you, bro. I was dead. Spidey was not into it.
Why don't we do a game, Nate? For every person that you get to do a Jet chant, I'll give you a raffle ticket.
Well, oh my God, Naked Cowboy. We got Naked. All right, Naked Cowboy. Dude, that's worth. I need 10. I need 10. How much for a Jet chant? J-E-T-S. J. 3, 2, 1. J. E. T. What's an S? S. Jet. My guy. Thank you. You hit it.
Love it.
Come back. No, you hit it. You hit it, Naked Cowboy. You're the man. We got to come back and give him some money. I only got a 20 on me. I don't know if that was 20, but was that on full screen? Did you get it?
I don't think we couldn't hear him, but we saw him doing it. That was amazing, Nate. I'm putting it.
He got the visual.
If it's okay with the chat, I'm putting Nate in for 10 for that. That was awesome.
I pre-negotiated that. I didn't get a yes, but that was worth it. We were just happening to be passed by.
That's epic. I'm putting Nate in for 10. That to me is $100 in value right there for the sheer
Dude,
entertainment
I think
alone.
I need 10 raffle tickets, and I need to rub Ralphie's luck, bro. Ralphie got the luck. I'm telling you. Ralphie's still going to clean up somehow. He's going to win this anyway.
Dude, Ralphie's on a bender right now in the raffles. It's crazy.
Ralphie's on a roll. Well, I don't know how many more I can get. I got 7 more blocks. I'm at MSG, which is my final destination. And some of these characters I frankly don't want to stop and have to do a Jets fan.
I'll tell you what, Nate. You killed it. This was a fantastic call between Spider-Man into the naked cowboy. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Exactly. Well, taste of New York City while you're out in Vegas, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate on the bike. Excellent call. Excellent call by Nate there. That was tremendous. Love that. Paul in the raffle for 2. He says, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean with the super chat. I'm going to get back to your remaining calls here shortly. Jake, it's a big-time show in the country's biggest market. Well-deserved. Also, is that a dead ferret on Beast Giant Dome? I don't know, Sean. But thank you for the kind words. I'll let Beast handle that one. Eli checks in. Jake, did you hear anything about the Jets being interested in Devon Vele from Denver? Drafted him in the 7th round. They got a great deal from New Orleans. I have not heard anything. He's on the Saints right now, right? I mean, last year he had, 41 catches, almost 500 receiving yards. I'm looking at his numbers now, 3 touchdowns. I would take him. I don't know if he's available, though. I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, he's 6'5", too, so I like his size. Ralphie says, I'm on a heater. Let's go, Jets. Ralphie in the raffle for 2. Ralphie won in back-to-back days a signed Darrelle Revis jersey, and yesterday he won a dealer's choice Jets jersey. He chose a green Garrett Wilson, and I believe an adult-sized medium, if memory serves. I ordered it for Ralphie at like midnight Vegas time last night when I got back to my hotel room. But I ordered it for you, Ralphie, so be on the lookout. All right, home stretch of calls here. And then we're going to spin the wheel. So get in the raffle if you haven't. And all your super chats and memberships go to the Jake Asman Gambling Fund here at Circa. Adam is up next. What's up, Adam?
Hey, isn't there a place in Vegas where you can like ride a tank?
You could probably do a lot of things in Vegas. I don't know where that is specifically, though.
I think there is something like that. Well, if there's ever a chance when you next time go to Vegas, you should totally like check that place out. See if there's like jets you can take photo shots, head shots in front of and back of in it. That'd be pretty slick. See you in a jet. That'd be pretty cool.
I love it. I will have to look into that.
Yeah, I'll look. I'll throw it in the Discord if I find it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I know that, so many things have been said already about the moves. It's really, it's nice to see. It's nice to feel like the GM and the head coach are smarter than us. I think it's a good feeling.
Yeah, look, it's nice to know that they're not just sitting on their, their asses being like, we'll figure it out. We'll work it out. It'll be fine. No, you're being aggressive. By the way, Battlefield Vegas, 2 people in the chat have said is the spot for that.
You should totally check that out. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, I forgot what else I was going to mention. But those were the 2 big things. Oh, it would be interesting to see if, we could potentially look at some of the other rosters that have like deep wide receivers. I guess in the end, like you're looking for a wide receiver too. So it's like, is it really that difficult to look for someone that has the potential to be a wide receiver 2 versus a wide receiver 1? I mean, what's the difference really? It's like faith more than anything else, faith and fit, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking for a guy that you think could be an upgrade over what you currently have, but at the same time, I think the Jets are not going to just push all their chips in the middle of the table, being like, we're willing to overpay because this is the missing piece to a Super Bowl team, right? Like, I think they're going to be like, we want to improve, but we're not going to do it for the detriment of our long-term future. To me, they need to save their picks, the premium ones, to maybe move up in the draft for their quarterback next year.
Yeah, I would agree. And I remember what I was going to say, and this hasn't been mentioned yet on the 5 hours of commentary I've been listening to since these moves were made yesterday. Remember the Bills sort of traumatized us a little bit in the draft I know it sounds like a while ago, but they made a trade with the Bears to basically be in front of us for 3 straight rounds, and they went all D-line. And when you think about the draft capital they gave up to get these, rookies that may work out, may not, and what we gave up to get a proven quantity in Harrison Phillips, and a lot of potential with a 7th rounder that's already proven some stuff versus some unknowns and with Deontay Walker and stuff like that. I feel like we got the better deal in the end, and in the end, maybe Buffalo overthought it a little bit because everyone knew we needed interior linemen. But I know Buffalo sniped us on purpose.
They could have. I guess we'll never know. But
pretty coincidental, right?
Yeah,
they trade in front of us for 3 straight rounds, and it's D-line, 2 interior, and 1 edge. Like those were totally not positions they need for us either, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, look, the Jets clearly needed DT help. That's the one thing in the draft they didn't do, and I think it was fair at the time to be critical of it. But at least adding Harrison Phillips, someone made this point earlier, it was a good one. You're like, even if they took a defensive tackle, you weren't going to find a player that was as good as what Harrison Phillips is now.
Bingo. So this is me just sort of piling onto that. And we spent a lot less than Buffalo did to get the same thing. So really, really shrewd moves. And you know what? I know we keep thinking wide receiver too, but who the heck knows? If there's an opportunity to get a wide receiver 1 like talent, like a 1B, who the heck knows what they're cooking now? So it's great to see what's possible.
I like it. A positive Adam on the line there. Good call, Adam. Appreciate you. Hey, guys, reminder to join the Patreon if you haven't. Get in our Discord. $6 a month. You support the show. You get bonus shows every month. Obviously, your name in that intro. You get access to private events, discounts on tickets to set events, 20% off all items in my merch store year-round, and the best perk, the Discord. So check it out. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you sign up for the year, you get 10 raffle tickets automatically applied. So once I get that email that you signed up for the year, you save 15% on your Patreon membership. But then you also get the bonus weekly raffle ticket incentive. So check that out. I want to post a link in the chat right now for people. Love that. All right. Home stretch here, ladies and gentlemen. Today's caller, or today's closer, I should say, is a guy that usually has people feel one way or another about him. One thing we all can agree on, though, is that when it comes down to it, he's all about this, the point.
He's pointing. Garrett Box point at you. Garrett Box point at you. Garrett Box. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Garrett Box point at you. I point.
What's up, Jake?
Hello, Gary.
A couple of things. First, have you watched Any Given Saturday on Netflix, the series about the SEC season?
No, but Cole Thompson's voice I know is featured in it. He sent me the
Cole
clip.
Thompson was on it. Yeah, like real quick. Like they just cut into his podcast for like 3 seconds. I think they're talking about the Vanderbilt Bama game last year. But yeah, Cole. I was watching like I know him. Cole Thompson's on it. Yeah.
Did you recognize the voice immediately?
Yeah, it's Cole. Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome.
But it's a good series. I don't know if you're not that much into college football, but if anyone is, watch it. It's really good. And then Cole Thompson's on it too. I wanted to piggyback on Nate's call. I don't know. I missed the beginning of the show, but Alec Pierce, he played at Cincinnati. He played on the team with Sauce and Desmond Ritter and Kobe Bryant. He was on that really good team. He was really good then, and he's a quality receiver. If we could get a guy like that, it would just kind of complete your receiving core. Like you'd have a legitimate number 2 receiver, and then Reynolds could be your 3, and then Arian Smith could be your true gadget guy. Like everyone would kind of fall into place if you could add a guy like Pierce. He's a true number 2. I don't know what the asking is. What are they asking for him?
I don't know if he's actually available. That's the thing. I'd imagine they would probably want a 2nd-round pick. I don't know if they can get it though.
Is that what he was really good at Cincinnati? Is that what they drafted him in the 2nd round? Is that what they used him?
He's been good. Was he a 2nd-round pick? I have to check. I don't remember. But he's been productive without a ton of targets. Like Nate brought it up. You look at his stats, right? This guy last year, he led the NFL in where is it? Where's these stats here? He led the NFL in receiving yards per reception with 22.3. He only had 37 receptions, and he had 824 yards. So, to me, that's a product of his quarterback play last year with Richardson and whoever wasn't good. But when he had the chances to make plays, he made them. And I think that's kind of what the Jets need from their second wide receiver. Like, can you beat someone one-on-one if they're going to double Garrett and you need someone else to go win? And I think he could go and win with limited opportunities to go and win because of the style of play the Jets are going to have offensively.
That's the name. I don't know if it's possible. If it is, and the asking is within reason.
Second round pick, by the way, 53rd overall in the 22 NFL draft. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so maybe they're thinking he's available because maybe they're not going to sign him. They're already paying Pittman, and maybe they can't keep both. But if I'm the Jets, I'd make that deal and I'd try and get him extended.
If I could give you a third rounder and I extend him, like to me, that's a no-brainer. A second rounder is tough. I mean, I'm not saying he's not worth it, but he has to be. I can't trade a second rounder for 1 year. I have to have him extended if I'm going to give up a second round pick. That's a lot. But I definitely think like he's worth a phone call. Like, if he's available, let's see what that looks like. What let's have that conversation. He solidifies. That's the word I'm looking for. He solidifies the receiving core. Everyone kind of falls into place if you can get a guy like that. I had something else too. Oh yeah. I like what the Jets are doing. This isn't a year like the Brooklyn Nets have done the last 3 years where it's just like, all right, well, let's see what we have. Like they're trying to win. Like they're actively trying to get better and they're trying to win. They're not saying, okay, we got a bunch of guys. Let's see what we have. And next year we'll get our quarterback and try to rebuild starting next year. It's like they're trying to win right now. They're making moves. They're not content with not being good. Like they're trying to get better. And like that's really all you can ask for in a GM is try to win this year. I don't want to waste a year saying, all right, well, let's just suck this year. If it doesn't work out, we'll hit on one of the quarterbacks, in next year's draft. Like
your arch nemesis is here, by the way.
Hi, Gary.
Goes, hi, Gary. Fancy seeing you here.
Do we think this is actually Amanda, or do we think this is a troll account?
I think it's actually Amanda.
Okay. All right.
She doesn't just comment when you're on. I've seen her in the chat for other comments.
Okay. She comments quite regularly when I'm on.
I don't think she's very fond of you, if that's what you're asking.
No, I don't think so either, and that's okay. That's fine. I don't really care what women think, so that's fine.
Here we go.
What are you in Vegas for? You just in Vegas to hang out? Is it like a vacation, or are you there for work reasons?
You didn't seriously ask me that, did you? Contest weekend, baby. Circa. Come on. I've only been talking about this since July 1st.
Okay. My bad.
Good to see that you listen to the show.
I listen every day. I don't know, man. Okay. Now that you do mention this does look familiar.
I'm promoting their contest, and I'm also here for pleasure as well. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Yeah, guys, go to the contest weekend. Show out. You got listeners in Vegas. Like there's a million New York transplants in Vegas, right?
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, Amanda says Gary is a fake fan, and I don't care what Gary thinks.
Good. You shouldn't. You should get a husband, and you should care what your husband thinks, and you should follow your husband. If you don't have a husband, then you should have a father, and you should do what your father tells you to do. And if you need help finding a man, you could consult with your father or your brothers, and they could probably pick a good one out for you.
Michael says the man who says he doesn't care what women say respects women. Yeah, right.
I don't care what other men think either. No offense. Like I mean, I definitely don't care what women think. Men have authority over women, so it's just you can't be subordinate to a woman. That's not going to work. But I really don't care what other men think either. Really, I mean, not really, not ultimately.
JD Surf City, Gary off the rails again. Amanda triggers him.
I'm not triggered. Do I see him triggered? I don't.
I think I make Gary nervous.
Certainly not, Amanda. I think I make you nervous. I think you got a low key crush on me. I think I wish I had a man that would dominate me. I wish I had that. It would tell me to shut up and put me in my place. I wish that.
Amanda says men are lining up for Gary. I'm a hot commodity.
Men are lining up for me, or are you saying Gary? Men are lining up for you? Because that comment reads a little strange.
Oh, she says for me. Men are lining up for her.
That's a little weird, that comment. I'm sure they are, and that's why you should have a father or a brother who can help you pick out a right man. Because women left to their own device make very bad decisions.
Nate says, "What if someone is single with a dead father? Who does she turn to?"
Does she have brothers? Does she have some? I mean, look, not everything in life is perfect. I get it. Does she have brothers? Does she have an uncle that she's close with? Does she have a father figure who can help her decide on a man to pick? I don't know. Sure, every situation is not perfect, Nate.
You could be equal. Why do you need to be dominant over someone, Gary?
Well, I mean, what do you mean by equal, right? Like equal in terms of value, equal in terms of personhood, sure. Equal in terms of role, no, we have different roles. Like women and men complement each other. They're not supposed to compete with each other. When they compete with each other, we learn that two very simple things. One, women aren't very good at being men, and men aren't very good at being women. Like we learn that very quickly. So I don't like this equal thing. Equal in terms of what, right? Like are a quarterback and a center equal? Well, in terms of human value, yes. In terms of what they do, no.
Gary, want to help me find a husband? You clearly have great values, so you think you can help me find a stand-up guy?
You gotta be less mouthy, you gotta be less unruly, and you gotta be submissive. You gotta get on his plan, right? I can't help you find a husband if you're not a wife.
You're unbelievable. It's
okay. What like if you're gonna be unruly and you're gonna be a loudmouth, opinionated woman, you're not a wife. Like what value are you bringing to that marriage?
Gary, did your wife check with her father/brother first?
Did you? I asked her father if I could marry her. Yes. I asked my father-in-law now if I could marry his daughter. I 100% did. Did you guys
John
not?
says, the only thing Gary dominates is the buffet at the strip club. Can't fool me, bud.
I don't know what that's in reference to. Are you calling me fat? Is that what you're calling me there?
Amanda says, I think Gary just isn't good at being a real man. Grade A dickhead.
I love it when women say, what's a real man? Like single women who can't find a good man tell me what it's like to be a real man.
How do you know she can't find a good man?
She's single, isn't she?
So
Guys are lining
Okay.
up for her. Guys are lining up for her. She has her pick of men, and she's still single.
Maybe it's not the maybe it's not the right person. How do you know?
Look,
people go in and out of relationships. That doesn't mean they're not.
Well, let's say she's reasonably attractive, at least a 5 or better. She's at least reasonably attractive. Men are lining up for her. Good quality men. I get this all the time from girls. I can't find a good man. Maybe check your friend zone. I bet you got a bunch there, right? That's my point.
Yeah, but what if they don't like that person? You can't force someone to have to like someone if they don't like them.
The father and the brother should be involved. They can have a level head on the situation and be like, this guy is only interested in one thing. This guy over here, this is the type of guy you should pursue. This is a good guy who wants to take care of you, provide for you, and protect for you. That's why the brother and the father and the male influence should be extremely relevant in her decision making and picking a spouse, because she could get led astray.
JD says,
I absolutely asked my father-in-law if I could marry my wife. 100%.
Love it when Jake attempts to use logic with Gary. It's impossible with Mr. Illogical.
Where's the contradiction, JD Surf City? Where's the logical? Where's the contradiction? Where's the logical fallacy in anything I said?
Amanda says, I somewhat recently got out of a 5-year relationship, but I'm dating again.
There you go, Amanda. Why did you end the relationship?
Nate says, I would have married Amanda if she didn't dump me for better.
Nate's a good guy. You see what I'm saying? Nate's extraordinary. Nate would be a great catch. And for some reason, she's got some crazy expectations that she could do better than Nate. And let me tell you something, Amanda. You cannot do better than Nate.
3 siblings. Amanda, you don't need to explain yourself. I agree with that. Amanda, you're trying to argue with a man who will never concede an inch. So don't even bother.
I think men and women are the same. I don't think that. I will never concede that.
Okay, long distance ended the relationship.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I had a long distance relationship with my wife from the start, kind of. Okay, I get it. You know, I'm not going to comment too much. I mean, I don't know what happened in your relationship. What I do know is that you ended it, and the guy's probably a good guy. That's what I do know.
John says, on a scale of 1 to 10, what does Gary think he is?
As far as looks, as far as total package, as far as what? Like, what are we talking? Just on
How about looks?
I'm not. I'm for my age, for 42. I'm not a fat bastard. I'll give myself a 6.
Okay.
If I was a fat bastard, I'd be a 4 or a 5. But at least I
Amanda
keep
says,
myself
"Do you want to grab coffee? We could discuss all our differences in a civil manner."
I'm a happily married man. I think that's disrespectful to my wife. Right? I mean, if you were a happily married man, you wouldn't go get coffee with some other girl who's probably 10 years at least younger than you, right?
Amanda says 6 is generous.
I'm a confident guy. Look, if you said I'm a 5, I'm not insulted by that. Guys don't really care. See, this is the men can handle reality. Women can't. Jake, if a chick told you were a 6, you'd be like, oh, all right, cool. Thanks. If you tell a chick she's a 6, she's on suicide watch the next day. Even if she is a 6. It's like a 6 is a decent number. It's better than average. What are we talking about here? But men can handle reality. Women can't.
Tom A says, "I'll grab coffee with Amanda. My treat."
There you go. Hey, get in there, Tom Ace.
Tom Ace, everyone.
She'll find a problem with Tom Ace too, and Tom Ace is second to none.
How do
He
you
looks
know?
like I bet Tom Ace.
Yeah, but how do you know? How do you know she'll find a problem with Tom Ace? They never even met.
Because if you, like I said, if you're fairly attractive, at least a 5 or better, and you're still single into your 30s, the problem is you. The guys have lined up for you. The guys have made their pitch. Lots
You
of
don't
good
even
guys.
know if she's 30.
I guess I just assumed that.
She could
Amanda,
be. What if she's 22?
what year did you graduate high school? Let me ask her that. It's not nice to ask a woman her age. What year did you graduate high school?
She says, "Bring your wife. She's more than welcome."
Okay, I mean she's cool with it. I mean that. I don't even know where Amanda is, or if Amanda is actually who she claims to be.
What if you're 30 and single and you're a man?
It doesn't matter for men. Like you could have a kid. You can get married at 52 and have a family of 5. It doesn't work that way for women. If a woman wants to have a family, if she wants to get married, she wants to have kids, which almost all women in every survey says they want to have kids, like 89% of them, they have to start early. Their clock is ticking. Jake, you could get married at 60 and have 5 kids. Doesn't matter.
Nate says, "No shot. Gary's letting his wife out of the cage for Amanda."
I don't understand. Like it's so crazy that like we have a traditional Christian marriage where the man is the head of the household. Like this has worked for 5,000 years. Now all of a sudden it's an issue. Like I don't understand. This is how society was built, right? The man is the head of the household. I don't. The woman is the neck. The man is the head. I don't understand why this is like all of a sudden out of the blue.
J-Boy says, "You'd fit perfectly in the 1930s."
1930s look cool. 1930s look cool. When I was a kid, I got in trouble. They asked me what I wanted to do, and I said I wanted to be a bootlegger from the 1920s. So this is close to that. You know, in school I wanted to be a bootlegger because I thought it was like really cool. But yeah, 20s, 30s, they look good to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, an all-time call from Gary 3D Boxing. Gary, I would say thanks for the time, but I feel like a lot of people
You know you like
not
that
agree
call.
with that.
You might not agree with it, but you know you like the call. That was, and I appreciate shout out assist to Amanda. Amanda dishing out the assist like John Stockton. Look at you setting me up.
You guys kind of have like a Batman and Joker type of thing. Like it just, I feel like there's some mutual respect for this rivalry.
Tell Amanda to come on, and we'll hash it out.
Yeah, for the sports example, it feels like it's very Brady versus Manning-esque.
Which as long as I'm Brady, I'll take that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
All right, that was quite the show. Quite the call. Amanda says that I'm definitely Batman. Brian Glick, terrible. Awful opinions. Good riddance, Gary. Frank P. JD, brutal call. Gary has a 3D boxing plaque. I tread lightly. That's a man's man. Robin, Gary fits better in 5000 BC. I like in the middle of all that, Bob just throw it in. Will Bree score 10 plus touchdowns? Well done, Bob. I hope so. Don't tell Frankie V that, though. Frankie V, man, one of the more astonishingly dumb, out of context calls yesterday. Everyone's excited about these trades. Frankie V calls in to argue with me about Breece Hall's receiving numbers. Man. All right. I am putting together the raffle names right now. So that is what's happening on my end. So I think I have everyone accounted for here. So I'm going to get the wheel ready. And in the meantime, let's hear from Fireman Ed because he has a message for all the Asmaniacs.
Hey, Fireman Ed here. Join me on a trip to Bermuda, baby. Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas, May 30th to June 4th, 2026. Join the New York football legends Marty Lyons, Bilal Powell, Leon Washington, Sean Ellis, Kevin Mawai, Chris Ivory, and Jericho Cotchery, and all the podcasters. We are going to have the time of our lives. Q&As, meet and greets. It's going to be a spectacular cruise. Come join Fireman Ed on the cruise of a lifetime. Go to cruisewithlegends.com and book your trip today. Let's go!
Yeah, Cruise with Legends. Me, O'Leary, Richie, Greenby, and Ryan, Fireman Ed, and those Jets legends you just heard Ed reference. Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost time for the raffle. But first, let's pay great respects to the country we live in, the United States of America.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Simply beautiful. Simply beautiful. It's time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, Omar, you love to sneak in here at the buzzer, you sicko. Thank you, Omar. I'm going to add you to the raffle for one. Watch this. Omar Ochoa. All right, that's it. That's the cutoff. 61 entries in here, ladies and gentlemen. We're playing for a Jets jersey of your choice. I'm in Vegas, and we're calling it Dealer's Choice. Hit the music. Here we go. Good luck. If you win, you must email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, and tell me which player you want, the color, the size, all that. Spencer really testing the limits of at the buzzer. He says, can I get in? You know what, Spencer? You absolutely can. Spencer Green is in for two. Here we go. Shuffle the names. Boom. Good luck to everyone. Someone's going to win. But if you don't win, that doesn't mean you won't win later this week when we raffle away a Joe Namath jersey, a Mawai jersey, and a Sack Exchange signed photo. Those three are the top weekly Asmaniac prizes. Okay. Here we go. Wheel of Champions. Good luck. The winner is Eli Betts, a diehard Jet fan hailing all the way from Denver, Colorado. Yeah. Eli. That's your big winner. Hey, that's a show. I'm back with Jet Parles today, 3:30 Eastern time, roughly. So be ready for that. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of content on the channel the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that. Post-game show live from Vegas tomorrow before my flight back to New York to MC the Badlands event. I'm crazy. I'm a maniac. I'm an Asmaniac. Love all of you. You guys are the best. Again, thanks to everyone who makes this show so much damn fun to do. I will talk to you guys this afternoon with Jeff. I'll be live at our table downstairs in the ballroom here at Circa, where the Radio Row setup is. So be on the lookout for that. And if you're not watching live, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you turn on notifications for when we will be going live later today. On that note, JETS, 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 Jets. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take it away, Charles Gorman.
People think I don't want to work, which is not true. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that didn't help.
love it, dude.
You're talking about how people don't.
You can't say that people think you don't want a job and then say that you came off a real good nap. It's a hard 2 sentences to put together, Charles. It is. You got Jake off the camera.
How do you not see the irony of that, Charles? This is why Charles is the best of the best.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.